I never expected my peaceful fishing trip on the river to turn into a nightmarish ordeal. The tranquil waters held a dark secret, one that would haunt me for the rest of my days. It was a cool autumn evening when I arrived at the riverbank, eager to cast my line and forget about the stresses of daily life. The sun began its descent, casting an ethereal glow on the water's surface. As I settled into my spot, the first hint of unease washed over me. There was an eerie silence that hung in the air, broken only by the distant chirping of crickets. The atmosphere felt heavy, as if nature itself held its breath. Ignoring my instincts, I cast my line into the river, hoping for a momentary escape. The water, usually crystal clear, now seemed murky and foreboding. Shadows danced beneath its surface, unsettling me. But it was the whispers that followed that truly sent shivers down my spine. Soft, disembodied voices seemed to rise from the depths, their words too faint to decipher. I shivered, pulling my jacket tighter around me. Nightfall descended, casting a cloak of darkness over the river. I lit my lantern, its feeble glow barely penetrating the oppressive blackness. As I continued to fish, an unnerving sensation crept over me, a feeling of being watched. My gaze darted around, searching for any signs of life. But there was nothing, only the sound of my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. Suddenly, a faint cry pierced the night, echoing through the stillness. I reeled in my line, fear gripping my heart. I followed the sound, moving cautiously along the riverbank. As I drew nearer, the cries intensified, filling the air with an agonizing desperation. My mind raced, contemplating the source of the haunting wails. Then I saw her, an ethereal figure floating just above the water's surface. Her pallid skin glowed under the moonlight, her eyes empty and haunting. She reached out toward me, her voice a tortured whisper, beckoning me closer. The urge to flee battled against my curiosity, but my feet moved of their own accord. As I approached, she spoke in a voice laden with sorrow. She was a restless spirit, trapped in the river for centuries, seeking solace and redemption. The river had claimed her life long ago, and now it demanded more. It craved the souls of the living, drawing them to its depths. I listened in horror as she recounted the tales of those who had succumbed to the river's insidious lure. A young boy who had ventured too close and was dragged under. A fisherman who had fallen overboard and never resurfaced. Their spirits now tormented, destined to forever wander the river's banks. My mind reeled with a mixture of terror and empathy. I understood the river's hunger, its relentless thirst for life. But I also knew I couldn't succumb to its grip. I had to break free from its clutches, for my own sake and for the countless souls lost to its depths. With trembling hands, I pulled out a small vial from my pocket. It contained a concoction of ancient herbs and sacred waters, a relic passed down through generations of my family. I had carried it as protection, never truly believing in its power until that fateful night. As the spirit floated closer, I uncorked the vial and sprinkled its contents into the river. The water hissed and churned, as if repelled by the sacred mixture. The spirit let out an agonized wail, her form dissipating into the night air. And with that, the river fell silent once more. Exhausted and shaken, I stumbled away from the riverbank. I had escaped the clutches of the haunted waters, but the memory of that night would forever haunt my dreams. The river held a chilling secret, one that whispered through the darkness, reminding me of the thin line that separates the living from the dead.
If you enjoyed this chilling tale, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling stories.